News 18 Sports.
We're not slowing down.
We just have to fine-tune it.
Our team's going to show people what we're actually made of, and we're ready to just go out there and win games.
Football is back. We are now less than 40 minutes from kickoff at games across the state. The environment, very different this year, but the excitement still very real. News 18's Rebecca Fiala is live in Elk Mound for our Spotlight Game of the Week. The Mounders ready for a big test tonight, Rebecca.
Yes, Nick. Well, what a way to start the season for the Mounders, huh? Taking on consistent powerhouse Regis, who you will remember were the runners-up at state last season. What a welcome to the Clover Belt Conference, huh? Well, even though the players are happy to get back on the gridiron, we all know that athletes are fierce competitors. So throughout all the differences that this season will bring, we know one thing: the level of competition, it's going to remain high. And according to the Mounders, their game mirrors tonight's rivals.
They love to run the ball. We love to run the ball. It'll probably be a quick game, you know, when you think about it. But, yeah, they're predominantly good. And we're just going to try to hang in there with the big guys and see what happens after that.
We're about 30 minutes away from kickoff. This is going to be a good one. We're going to have all the highlights from this one, plus other games from the Chippewa Valley tonight at 10. Live from Elk Mound for News 18 Sports, I'm Rebecca Fiala.
Thanks, Rebecca. A little windy out there. I'm going to have to be careful. My hair might get moved out of place. Most teams in the Chippewa Valley playing tonight, with the exception of Eau Claire North and Eau Claire Memorial and the Dairyland Conference teams. News 18 will be in western Wisconsin as Menominee and Chippewa Falls kick off 2020. We'll also take you to Mondovi and Colfax and along Highway 53 to Cameron and Chautauqua. Highlights from all of these games on the Sports Overtime tonight. Saints receiver Michael Thomas will not play against the Packers on Sunday. He's out with an ankle injury. Devontae Adams may not play either. Matt LaFleur says his wide receiver will probably be doubtful. And it's winter get ready to go home time for the Brewers. The Crew, one game out of a playoff spot. They're playing two in St. Louis today. Good start so far. They're 3 outs from a win in Game 1. Matt has another look at your forecast after this.
Now, News 18 Sports.
Chippewa Falls plans to play. Chi High is moving forward with fall sports as long as the school has in-person instruction. Cardinals Activities Director Mike Thompson tells me as long as the school is meeting WIAA and county health guidelines, he feels comfortable offering extracurricular activities. If the school has to go to remote instruction, Chi High would determine if it would finish the fall. Thompson says it's a relief to give coaches, students, and families a definite answer about the season.
As long as we can safely do it, then we feel like we can offer that. So for me, I just want to get my hands on a schedule and kind of dig into that and obviously connect with kids and coaches and make sure we're doing it well. You know, we're not just going to kind of jump in here and do things like we've always done. It's going to be some significant change. So definitely a good day.
Thompson says Big Rivers Conference leaders will meet Thursday to determine which schools are in and which are out. We know Eau Claire Memorial and Eau Claire North will not play sports this fall. Mark and Easton LaFont love to fish, and they love to challenge each other. So the Chippewa Falls father and son decided to share their passion with the world through YouTube.
Oh, it's so big.
Eating jalapenos is not Easton LaFont's strong suit. But the young angler swallowed his pride.
It was spicy.
To promote the sport he loves.
You know, it never ceases to amaze us what you can catch in a creek.
Easton and his father Mark are sharing their fishing experiences on YouTube, taking you on board their boat as they fish at tournaments and to their kitchen table as they share tips. Their first video was released 2 years ago, but the LaFonts got serious about the channel 3 months ago.
We've been watching YouTube a lot on TV. You know, it's basically all we watch. And we're like, well, why don't we do that? So we bought a couple cameras and started doing it. It's been fun.
At first, speaking in front of the camera was uncomfortable.
It gets awkward and it gets stressful sometimes.
Now, the LaFonts videos are 20 minutes long. Edits are made at the basement computer. Ideas for future videos are recorded nearby. The channel has grown to more than 130 subscribers.
And there's getting to be a little more interaction and comments between the fans, which is nice.
It's also grown a relationship.
We always fish together, but now we actually get to see how we interact in the boat. Falls and it does a little shimmy.
The LaFonts hope their videos show you how to fish. Or at the very least, have a little fun. We have a link to the YouTube page on our website, and if you have a fishing story you'd like us to share, send us an email or call the station. Harrison Ott is your Wisconsin State Open champion. Thomas Longbella from Chippewa Falls finishes 5th. Spring Valley's Tyler Leach comes home 11th. After nearly being no-hit Tuesday, the Brewers break out the big bats Wednesday. Christian Yelich to center and deep here, gone for a 2-run blast. Brewers up 6-1 in the 5th, and they're not done. Avi Garcia with a line drive to left. A 2-wood puts 2 more on the board. 8-1 Brew Crew. Keston Hero and Ryan Braun also go deep tonight. The Brewers win 9-3. Mike Budenholzer has won or shared the last 2 NBA Coach of the Year awards. His coaching talents certainly being tested right now as the Bucks struggle in the bubble. The Bucks weren't the only 1 seed that lost their playoff opener. The Lakers did too. But Milwaukee tried to push away any negativity from Tuesday's loss to the Magic.
We don't want to, be too high after a win. We don't want to be too low after a loss. And I think we want to have an appropriate reaction to, a game that wasn't our best. So I think the guys are in a good place.
Mainly, they're just a better team than we were yesterday. Simple as that. Just got to get back to our basketball. We had a tough game yesterday, and we just got to respond.
And tip for Game 2 of the series will be 5 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. Keith and Shannon have some more news next.
Now, News 18 Sports.
When I got the news, it put a smile on my face to know that the kids are going to have some form of an opportunity this fall.
The lights at Oakleaf Stadium will turn on this fall, not for games, at least for now, but for practice. It's another positive step for Altoona fall sports teams. Today, the school announced football, volleyball, and boys soccer will begin non-contact practices and conditioning on September 8th. These sports not allowed to compete right now under the current Eau Claire County Health Department order. They violate the physical distancing requirement. Altoona will follow the guidelines at practice. And for football coach Chad Hansen, this is ultimately another step closer to the goal.
It gives us a chance to be able to get out there and start and hope that things get better so we can get to the point where we do play a game. We want to try and get back to normal. And this is one baby step closer to doing that.
Altoona's other fall sports, tennis, golf, and cross country, have started practice and competing and have followed guidelines and orders. Well, giddy up, Mustangs fans. Menominee High School will play fall sports as scheduled. Football, volleyball, and soccer, those same 3 sports, are going to start practice on September 7th. District Administrator Joe Zadowski tells me other fall sports have already safely started their seasons.
I'm very happy to say that we've had a number of activities that have gone off without incident. Our coaches and advisors have done a great job following the mitigation measures that have been provided, and I'm confident they will continue to do the same thing this fall.
Zadowski says the school district is working with UW Stout for a way to safely use Williams Stadium for football games. Elk Mound will play this fall, but the Mounders have a unique challenge. They have sports in multiple conferences. That means double the meetings and decisions for Superintendent Eric Wright. He tells me the school will work with the Dunn County Health Department to determine if fans will be allowed at events and where they would be seated. Wright tells me he does not have a date in mind to make a decision.
To be honest, I don't know that there's a value in making a decision right now until we have more information. Because, again, any decision we make today could be changed tomorrow.
Wright says there are conference meetings coming up that could help with the decision. The Greek Freak has a new name, Defensive Player of the Year. Giannis earned 75 first-place votes for the award, well ahead of Anthony Davis's 14. Giannis joins Sidney Moncrief as the only Bucks players to be named Defensive Player of the Year. Antetokounmpo is now only one of 5 players in NBA history to win League MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
I never thought I'm going to be Defensive Player of the Year. I just try to play hard. I just try to go out there and compete. Having the best defensive team in the NBA, making your team being the best defensive, I think it's been my best year. But you can always get better. You can always improve.
The Bucks back on the court tomorrow, and they can advance to the second round of the playoffs with a win over Orlando. Another nail-biter at Miller Park tonight. 2-2 game against the Reds in the fourth. Orlando Arcia singles to right. Justin Smoke scores from around third. Here comes Ben Gamble, but he's thrown out at the plate, so it's only a 3-2 lead. Very next frame, bases full of Reds. Nick Castellanos singles to right. There's Ben Gamble. And check out this throw. All the way from right, they get the force out at home plate. A rare 9-2 putout. Brewers win 3-2. Keith and Shannon have some more news next.